True peace. This is Keparaka Atunupu coming at you live with that Pitchnova Manifestation. Quickly just speaking on the use of the Noone symbols and this so-called controversy that's going on the internet, and basically Simnab Tarnoon and his so-called control of the information and trying to block Noone from using the symbols that within the Nature of Nature books themselves it entails us that we are able to use. So just to address that point, we're going to start with Introduction to the Nature of Nature, Book 2, in the Commandment Laws, paragraph 342, the Commandment Law number 73. It states, and I quote, "Listen to reason. The symbol of life or death can be worn or shown on the proper persons and places for them, the same way each time that conditions are the same." Now that is the law itself. Okay? The law says the symbol of life or death can be worn or shown on the proper persons and places for them the same way each time that conditions are the same. Who are the proper persons and what are the proper places? That's the question that we have to deal with. Okay, so Afroo Oonoo, who is the author and writer of Noone Science, writes in the explanation of this commandment law, "The symbol to be put on persons and places of living people of the Ethiopian race in true culture society is the Noop, as shown in this paragraph, and Noone may wear it in any society. The Noop is located in the top half of the Sumat circle of order. The Noop has 5 colors to be placed in the positions given in figure 1 of this paragraph. The color black represents elevation, germination, beginnings, positiveness, perfection, and the skin color indeed of the Ethiopian race. The color red stands for sunshine, ether, and fire, life, and the blood running in the veins of the African race. The color green emblemizes life and the vegetation and ground of absolute nature. And the color blue signifies air, water, life, and the cleanliness required by true culture society. The color gray so must be shown clearly on the lines of the letter N and the line of the circle when a circle line is needed. Of course, the lines must be wide enough to show color gray. The solenoid may be attached at the bottom of the Noop if you're going to wear the Noop instead of the Nahus." See page 163 in Book 1 of the Introduction to the Nature of Nature, also written by Afroo Oonoo, as is this book too. The color gray represents brain, who is sometimes called gray matter. Let it be remembered always. Paragraph 343. Reason writes, the letter N represents Nupu, Noon, Nine, Noop, North, Nobility, Knoll, and Novenary nature, as N appears in the Noop. And the letter Z in the Zoop, shown in this paragraph, symbolizes Zupu, Zeus, South, and the sleep called death. The letter S is a variant of the letter Z. Also, Z stands for Senary nature. When we turn the Noop 90 degrees, it becomes the Zoop. And the Zoop is the opposite of the Noop. And this is why the Noop rotates counterclockwise and the Zoop turns clockwise, in the direction of the hands of a clock. The colors of the Zoop symbolize the same values and qualities as the Noop, but are in different directional positions and anchored in the life of death instead of the life of life. The Zoop may likewise carry the solenoid in the same position as the Noop. To become the Zoop, the Noop is turned 90 degrees clockwise, because clockwise is the turn of death and decay. The Zoop is the symbol to be placed on the crematory where the physical dead people in true culture society are cremated, and it may be placed on memorial and admirable statues of heroes, heroines, and their helpers. So, just to reiterate, by the commandment laws themselves, we who are adherents to Noone Science, known as Noone are able to use the symbols as we please. And no one has the right to claim control or try to prohibit those who are adherents to Noone Science from using the tools of our own culture. It is ours, indeed, and we as adherents are able to use them. There's no question about that. That is entailed in the books, and to try to pull a so-called legal and lawful maneuver, it's not by the commandment laws. You're using man's law in a tricknology manner. As a matter of fact, this is called trick logic or trick knowledge, because you are trying to use the information in a way that will force people to have to come through a conduit, which is you, and that's not set up in the books that way. That's not, to be clear, that is not outlined in the books in any form or fashion. When he speaks of, he being Afroo Oonoo, speaks of the elites, that is the ones who are able to adapt to the information and start to adhere to the commandment laws now in this moon society before the advent of the 3-point South Armageddon, which is coming around 2022 or so, give or take a few years. Okay? So, on that note, I want to leave you, all of my kin, in a positive manner. True peace.